إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Alhamdulillah ala ni'matil Islam. Alhamdulillah alladhi hadana lihadha وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who guided us to this blessing of Al-Islam. And we were not to be guided if it were not for his guidance. Alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. Last Jummah, we talked about getting ready to go back to school. Getting ready to go back to school. All the way from preschool to the university. We said it's an exciting moment for children and their parents to go back to school, to gain education. And we said education is a key to success. And we Muslims, we did and we must and we should take education seriously because it is the key to success. And if education is right, both in this dunya and for akhirah, inshallah, it is success in this dunya and in akhirah. And we said last Jumu'ah, we talked briefly about the home, the house, the preparation of this child, of this environment of education at home before he or she goes to school. And we emphasized on the importance of taking this responsibility seriously. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. Protect yourselves, your families, your children from a hellfire. Part of that protection starts here, by taking care of our children, making sure what they are being fed, not only to their stomach and their body, but to their spirit, to their heart, to their mind, is also correct. That's part of protection. That's also protection for them from the hellfire. Because what leads them to the hellfire is this belief that they have in their mind, is the kind of character that they will have throughout their life. So, my dear brothers and sisters, keep that in mind. The role of home. The role of home in getting our children successful in their education, both in this dunya and in akhirah. And I promised last time that the second circle, or the second episode that need to be discussed, is the school itself. And we said that most of the children of the Muslim community are going to the public school anyway. No matter how many private schools are there, no matter how many Islamic schools are there, no matter how many Muslims are doing homeschooling, still the majority of students are going to public school. Therefore, it is a fact, and we have to address it. That means we have to know what is the characteristic, the environment of the public school, and we would like what is our responsibility towards our children in taking care of them as they go to the public school. And that will be the subject of our discussion today. So there are many points to be discussed. I am not sure we'll be able to get to all of them, and we will give due right to each one of them. Number one, everybody knows the curriculum, the style of teaching, the purpose, the goal of all education in the public school is a secular education. They are not going to teach your child or mine how to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to love Allah, how to love Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, or Isa alayhi salam, or Musa alayhi salam. That is not the purpose of the public school. If they were to touch upon any of these characters, any of these names, it's from a historical point of view. If they were to speak about Islam, it's only from a historical point of view, about the Islamic civilization. And even that is not being talked about enough. Even that is not talked about enough. Even when it is being talked about, sometimes with distortion. Many times actually with distortion. And that's where Muslim parents need to be aware. They need to know what their children are being taught, or what their culture and their faith is being represented, how it is being represented. And that's one of the points. So the point is, public school, yes, they are there, but they are to teach secular education. So that's point number one. What is the outcome? Is it only secular education in terms of the product itself? 1 + 1 = 2? Is that all? Or it is actually a philosophy that's going to affect even the way of thinking of these children after going through the public school for some time? Many people, they graduate from public school, and their mindset, they think like seculars. This is how it is, because they have been through that system for many years. Can you imagine? From 4 or 5 or 6 years old, all the way until he or she graduates from the university. What do you expect? So this is a fact. This is a fact. How to deal with it? And that's where parents, masjid, leaders in the community, they need to know how to interact with our children, with our youth, so hopefully they will stick to their faith and they will stick to their methodology of thinking as Muslims and deal with issues from that perspective. Point number 2. Children go to school and the purpose from day one is preparing them for the labor market. Is preparing these children when they graduate to have a certain training, to have a degree, so they will have a job. These have been going on for a long time. All our schooling institutions are for that purpose. So children will become youth will become adults, they will go to the university, and whatever discipline they are going to study, the purpose is to have a degree so they will be able to have a job. Is that enough? Is that all what a human being is about? A human being is not just a worker to gain money, to do a job. A human being is going to be a father. A human being is going to be a mother. A human being is going to be a brother or a sister. A human being is going to be a leader in a community. A human being is going to be many roles in life. Who is going to prepare this person for these roles in life? If all the education is concentrating on graduating someone who is going to have a job, this is something that you and we need to talk about. Because it starts from home. Many of us, we Muslims, many of us, from day one, as soon as the child start being able to learn how to read, so we teach them reading, preparing them for the labor market. Labor market. To be a chip, to be a tool. To be a tool so they will be able to be useful in life. So hopefully they will get a decent job. What we are talking about building a responsibility, building a personality, building a strong personality in this child to become a man or a woman who will be successful in life in all spheres of life. To be a person who will be a good person. Talking about us as Muslims, a person who is pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life and in the next one. A person who will be able to be truly following the footsteps of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Not just a person who is going to have a job. That's only part of it. What about the rest of life? So my dear brothers and sisters, keep in mind that as we send our children to the public school, therefore, how can we complete the rest to make sure whatever is not being taught or taught wrong, that it will be correct or it will be complete? The next point. Of course, we are talking about the public school who is catering for everybody, catering for many groups of people. They are not catering only for Muslims, they are catering for all kinds of people. Those who believe, those who don't believe. Atheists maybe, Christians, Jews, Hindus, all kinds of people. And all kinds of thinking, all kinds of lifestyles. So put yourself in their position. How they are going to maintain a balance? By teaching everybody, yet keeping in mind that everybody is different. So we would like to be in that mood of thinking as we send our children to the public school, how they are going to navigate in that kind of environment, where they are being taught in that kind of environment where there are many people who are different from them. How can we teach them to respect the others, yet not necessarily to be influenced by them. In that proper environment, in that environment of the public school. How can we maintain good relationships, positive relationships, where we will be able to have input in what's going on in the public school in a positive way? Alhamdulillah, in some schools there is something going on. I told you a few months ago, I think last December or last year, the beginning of the year, we, alhamdulillah, in our middle school over here, we welcomed that we will have Jummah prayer over there. So all the Muslim students who are in the middle school, they start having their Jummah prayer. That's good. That's a positive influence. The children who are there, the Muslim children, had their freedom to organize themselves and to establish Jummah prayer. Now they are going to have MSA, Muslim Student Association, even at their level as middle schoolers. It's already going on in the high school. There is a Jummah prayer and there is an MSA. So this is something, if we make use of these tools, then inshallah, this is a positive influence in the environment of the public school for our children to maintain their personality as Muslims. What is next? There has to be some sort of a relationship between the community and the public school, in a sense where they need us and we need them. We need them to be sensitive to our way of life. When it is Ramadan, they need to know that it is Ramadan. Many years ago, Ramadan used to be unknown. Ramadan, what is Ramadan? They don't know. Now, almost in every public school, they know Ramadan. They know when Ramadan is coming. They know what does it mean to fast. They know that, yes, many of the Muslim children, they are going to fast. When it is time for lunch, they are not going to have their lunch. They will go, instead of going to the cafeteria, they will be maybe going to the library. Especially when you have, in a school, you have a good number of Muslim students. In the school district where we are, North Colony, we have a good percentage of the students are Muslim students. I believe in the high school we have maybe 10 to 15% of the students of the high school are Muslims. That's a big number. And that big number must be felt. Must be felt positively. The students must do good work to make sure that they are doing good work, and they must be outstanding in behavior. They must be outstanding in behavior. They should know, the school should know, these Muslims are good. I remember many years ago, as I used to go and visit some of the schools where my children were going, and the administration will tell me, not only about my children, but about other Muslim children who were going there. You Muslims, you should be proud of your children. They are well behaved. I think if we do a good job, my dear brothers and sisters, by really training our children properly and how to behave in the school, it's a great message that we care about education, we care about characters and akhlaq, we care about behavior, and we care about this institution. We care about the institution of the public school. We care about it, and we would like it to improve. That should be our relationship with the public school, by doing good job in our interaction with them. Another thing that can be done in order to teach them sensitivity to our way of life is inviting them to our institution. Inviting teachers, that we have a workshop with them. And alhamdulillah, we did that. And we are going to do more. Inviting the representatives, the superintendent. And we did a few years ago. And inshallah, we'll do it again. Keeping that kind of interaction with the public school, it will only enhance this relationship between the community and the public school. So hopefully that will bring some product by by making sure that they are aware of our needs and we are aware of the school environment. Are we aware, as parents who are sending our children to the public school, are we aware of what kind of books they are reading? Are we aware of what kind of books are suggested for them to read? Many parents are not. There were times where some of the books were the wrong books for these children to read, because they are teaching them the wrong ideology. They are suggesting to them the wrong thoughts. What some of those books are saying about Islam or Muslims is not true. So how can we counter that if we are not involved? Are we aware of the school environment, where it depends from which school you are talking about? Some schools have pandemic of drugs, violence, sexual relationships, interaction between boys and girls in ways that is not appropriate. That's the kind of school environment. Some of our youth, talk to them and they will tell you. Sometimes inside the school and sometimes outside of the school. As soon as the child is out, there is someone who is pushing something to him or her to sell them drugs. Many parents don't have enough time to sit down with their children and talk to them, heart to heart. Create a channel of communication so then your child will be able to complain to you. My father, my mother, this is what's going on in my school. Some girls, when they go to school, their khimar is being pulled out. They are being harassed because of the way they dress, because of the way they appear as Muslims. And that's intimidation. That's bullying. How much bullying is going to in the school? And how many parents are aware of that? How many parents do come and talk about it? Many parents are intimidated to talk about it. Many parents are intimidated to go to the school and complain. We need to do something about this. We would like to have a positive relationship with the school. And I'm sure they will appreciate that as long as we do it right. As long as we appreciate what they are doing, but in the same time, we'll tell them we are here to help and we are here to be an agent of change, positive change. Why not many Muslims are part of the PTA or the PTO, Parent-Teacher Organization or Parent-Teacher Association? Ask around, how many parents are part of this organization to voice their concerns, to talk about what their children are going through? Not many parents are. And you talk to the father, you talk to the mother and say, I don't have time. You don't have time for your child, yet you are afraid how your child is going to grow up to become Muslim. Your child is going to the public school and he or she is spending more than 30 hours a week. Every week. 30 to 35 hours, and if they are in some extracurricular, that's even more. And you tell me you don't have time? You don't have time, even few hours a month, to go and participate in some of the activities that are going on in the school, to voice your concern, to be aware of what's going on. So again, my brothers and sisters, that's very important. Many teachers will welcome you to even visit the class, to even you will be invited to the class and give a talk, especially when there are occasions like Eid or Ramadan. Many parents are available to go during Eid or Ramadan and explain the culture of the Muslims, the faith of the Muslims. This is what we do. Your child will be proud of you. Your child will be proud of you that you visited his or her class, that you spoke to the rest of the children. And many teachers are very much welcoming. So please, my brothers and sisters, we need to be aware of this and we need to participate positively. There is a lot of danger over there. especially when it comes to certain modes of behavior that's being taught. Indirectly, freedom of sexuality, freedom of expression that may lead to disbelief. We need to be aware of this, and we need to correct these things before it goes too far. Inshallah, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday, Saturday the 17th, we would like to have a forum where all of you are invited here in the masjid. And we would like to talk about this healthy relationship that we would like to have with the public school. We would like to empower our parents, our brothers and sisters, how to relate to the school positively. We would like to mobilize them in such a positive way where they would like to be part of these organizations and be able to participate, inshallah, positively. So it is Saturday, September the 17th, between Maghrib and Isha. Please do come. Even if you don't have a child going to the public school, maybe you have an experience that you can share with us, that you can benefit us, inshallah ta'ala. The last point that I would like to mention is this cooperation that puts all these three circles together: the house, the home, the school, and the masjid, in a positive relationship that hopefully, inshallah, this child will benefit from. The next subject that we need to talk about is the masjid. How can we enhance what we are doing in the masjid? How can we enhance it, improve on it, so hopefully it can play a positive role in preparing this child and protecting him or her from all kinds of dangers that may be there. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us an opportunity, and this is an opportunity for da'wah. This is an opportunity to represent Islam properly, to represent Islam in a healthy way, in our relationships, to the best of our ability. And education of our children, representing our community at the school environment, is an opportunity, and we should do it right. So I really seriously ask all of you to be involved, and I really seriously invite you to that meeting where hopefully we will be able to discuss ways of how to represent, ways of how to empower our brothers and sisters, ways how to address certain issues, and there are many issues when it comes to these matters of education, especially education of the public school. So I hope, inshallah, all of you will be there and all of you will be able to participate. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم اهدنا واهد بنا واجعلنا هداة مهتدين اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار آمين ثم آمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروه يغفر لكم، فيا فوز المستغفرين. وأقم الصلاة.